1867. 413-337-1867. What's going on with you and yours in the middle of this pandemic? How are you all doing? How are you all making it through? Um, you know, I know it's a rough time for everybody. Many people are losing loved ones. Many folks' loved ones are taking ill, and it's just so much going on. Just so much going on. So let's talk about it for a little while. Um, Before we talk about Corona, let's just get up to date on some of the current events that have happened since the last time I was on the air. Last time I was on the air, since then, Bernie Sanders dropped out of the race for president. He suspended his campaign, which pretty much makes Joe Biden the presumptive Democratic nominee. And here's the thing. I'm an independent voter, and neither Bernie nor Joe Biden were my particular favorites. As you know, I've come on this program time and time again and told you how I had real concerns about Joe Biden being the father of mass incarceration. I told you I had some real concerns that the person who authored the 1994 crime bill that was signed into law by Bill Clinton and had some very radical positions around tough on crime, etc., particularly when it came to spearheading and spurring mass incarceration for the African American community. Now, he denies that. He says that most folk are incarcerated on the state level, and he's right about that. But what he's not telling you is that the bill he wrote incentivized the states to pass three strikes laws, to pass tough on crime laws, to build more prisons, and to keep people in prison longer. It was called Truth in Sentencing. It was part of the crime bill, and they promised the states billions of dollars if they would do these things. And so states immediately started building prisons. They started passing draconian laws. They started keeping people in prison longer. And in exchange for that, they got billions of dollars out of the federal government. So Biden is not being honest when he says the spike in mass incarceration wasn't a federal thing. It was incentivized by his bill. And within 10 years of the passing of that bill, the prison population in America more than doubled. Now, you tell me how that did not spur mass incarceration. Biden was also a segregationist. He was against busing black students to better schools and integrating schools. He sided with segregationists such as Strom Thurmond and others many times. And many times when Republicans had promulgated legislation, tough on crime legislation, etc., Biden had the nerve to say it wasn't tough enough. So this is the guy who is now going to be the presumptive nominee for the Democrat Party. And so, of course, you know, I'm very uncomfortable with that. And I'm uncomfortable, you know, the bottom line, with our community, African-American community, Latino community, you name it, always being placed in a position of having to choose the lesser of two evils. The question I always ask is, Why is it that in every single election, we're being told, well, just get past this election and then we'll talk about your concerns after? This seems to be, the standard line. Don't worry about the extrajudicial murder of black people. Don't worry about, the disparities that exist throughout the African American community and beyond. We'll have time to address that. We'll deal with that when we deal with that. But right now, we just need y'all to vote for us. And after you vote for us, then, we'll consider dealing with your stuff. And that's problematic for me, that this is the position that we always find ourselves in, of having to choose the lesser of two evils. We're always having to choose between Satan and Lucifer, some kind of way. And once again, we're faced with that this year. But here's what I'm going to say. As much as I have to hold my nose, and I mean really hold my nose and cough and vomit at the selection by the Democrat Party in terms of its nominee, we have to get Donald Trump out of office. And I struggled with saying that because for many, many months, my position has been black people have lived through worse than Donald Trump. And if Democrats can't offer us anything better or what we deserve, we'll make it through 4 more years of Trump. But I think this pandemic has put me in a different mindset. Because anyone who can be so callous, so inhumane, so self-absorbed, so uncaring about the fate of people, and be so much more concerned about himself, about his reputation, about his TV ratings, is someone that is dangerous beyond thought. I mean, dangerous. Anyone who would sit there as tens of thousands of people die and talk about, hey, my press conference ratings were better than Monday Night Football. I mean, on the heels of the other day, literally 2,000 people in America died of COVID-19. 800 people in New York alone died. And this guy was tweeting that his coronavirus briefing ratings were better than the season finale of The Bachelor. I mean, that's literally what this guy was tweeting, y'all. That it was better than The Bachelor. And so, I've come to the point of finally saying, you know what? As much as we'd have to hold our nose when it comes to who the Democrats have put before us, Trump has got to go. He's got to go. He's got to go. 413-337-1867. 413-337-1867 is the number here if you want to chime in on the conversation. And I want to hear what your position is. Because there were some of you who were kind of like me, who were saying, you know what, don't threaten us with 4 more years of Trump. We've dealt with worse than Trump. Racism and bigotry didn't start with Trump. How many of you find yourself in a different place now that we are in the middle of this pandemic, a pandemic the results of which are due to his ineptitude and incompetence, knowing about this since October, November, ignoring it for 5 months, in March still calling it a hoax, instead of stockpiling protective equipment, instead of stockpiling masks and respirators and ventilators and those types of things, instead of having the scientists work feverishly on a vaccine that they say would take anywhere from 12 to 18 months, we'd already be 6-7 months ahead of the game had they started early. But this guy completely ignored everything. And here we are with people dying. And guess what? This past week, America passed every other nation in the world in terms of coronavirus deaths and those infected. So we are now at the head of every nation in the entire world in terms of those who have died of coronavirus and in terms of those who have coronavirus. That's where we are because of the ineptitude of this guy. And this is something we haven't seen since the Spanish flu of 1918. And I don't think we can go another 4 years with Trump. I don't think so. I just don't think so. First, let me talk to some of my viewers. To Patrice Carter, who says, "You stupid for even considering Trump over anybody else running on the Democratic ticket." I don't think me or people were ever considering Trump over anybody. I think what people rightfully were doing was saying that Democrats have to do better than just tell black people that we got to get Trump out of office, instead of having an agenda for black people who are their most loyal voting bloc, particularly black women. And they had a right to try to hold the Democrat Party accountable for that. There's no reason in the world that Democrats, as loyal as black people are to them, continue to just say to them, you know what, we'll get to you. We'll get to you. Just vote for us again and we'll get to you. I think that's what people were basically saying. 413-337-1867. We are once again live on WTCC. If you turn to the radio station, we're remote on there, broadcasting live from the man cave here in my basement. But thanks to our remote director, Jim, he's been able to patch me in so that we can get to the listeners in our radio listening audience, as well as those of you who are live over social media. Do me a favor, those on social media, rep your city, rep your town, type in what city and town you're in, and give me your corona report. Give me your coronavirus report. If all is well with you and your family, let me know all is well. Tell me all is well. If there are members of your family who have been stricken with coronavirus or have even passed of coronavirus, tell us to pray for you, and let us know how everything is going. This is the way we check in on everybody. The only way we've got to check in on everybody, because we can't physically see everybody as we would love to do. But that's where I am, and so I really want to hear your position. Are you willing to vote for segregation Joe Biden? Are you willing to vote for crime bill Joe Biden? Is it important that we get this guy out of office? 413-337-1867. Standing by, ready to take your telephone calls. Love to hear what you'd have to say. Those of you on social media, definitely type in the comments. Let me know. Are you willing to take that step and vote for Biden? Good morning to my friend Dr. Bernard Reese, who just chimed in. Good morning from the Shy, cousin Lisa. Good morning, Kathleen from Dorchester. Mike Holman, Al, my frat brother, is tuned in. Danielle Hogan, Angela Brown, Mother Carolyn Roberson Kang. How you doing, cousin? He says coronavirus is no accident. I'm inclined to believe that. Good morning, Lynn Malone. Good morning, Kathy Swanson. Patrice Carter. Deacon George Lovejoy. Stephanie Johnson. James Howard. Darcel Wright. Marcus Milan. My good friend and little brother Mark Beavers, Reverend Mark Beavers, all the way from New York, where they've been getting hit. They've been getting hit bad, and so our prayers are with those that are out there. Let's take this telephone call. Good morning. Oh, you hung up. You gotta wait till I answer the phone. Give us a call back. 413-337-1867. 413-337-1867. I'll definitely grab your call. So that last caller, give us a call back and we'll get you on the air. 413-337-1867. Let me know. Will you be voting for Crime Bill Joe? Will you be voting for Crime Bill Joe? There have been some who have been advocating that people sit this election out, as opposed to going with the lesser of two evils. And, you know, once again, the Democrats really have no one to blame but themselves for that, for failing to produce a candidate that will inspire its most loyal voting bloc, but also failing to come up with an agenda that addresses the concerns. Once again, now, you know, reparations is off the table. It was the conversation during the campaign because there were several candidates who were willing to talk about it. Marianne Williamson, Yang, Tom Steyer, and others were willing to have that conversation about reparations. Then we wound up with the final two in the race, Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, neither one who support reparations. And so now that whole conversation is completely off the table, as well as other conversations that are important to black people. And so because the Democrat Party seems to take advantage of us, wants us to vote for them, but then at the same time will not take seriously our concerns. And if the only thing that you have for us is we're not as racist as the Republicans, we're not as bad as them, that can't be your selling point to black people forever. You know, at some point in time, especially since you have a specific agenda for the LGBTQ community, you have a specific agenda for illegal immigrants, you have a specific agenda for members of the Latino community, you have a specific agenda for women, you have a specific agenda for so many other different groups, but yet and still you say, well, we don't have a specific agenda for black people, but when we pass this, it's going to help black people. You know, kind of like rising tide lifts all boats. And so black people are going to benefit from this, even though it's not specifically for them. Well, the question black people have is, why can't there be a specific agenda for us like there's a specific agenda for everyone else? And so you can't blame them for being turned off to the party that continues to neglect them and take advantage of them. You know, your enemy is your enemy. You know who they are. I mean, bottom line is you can see them coming. You know you have to guard yourself against them. But the people that are supposed to be your friends but are silently stabbing you in the back, I submit to you, in many ways are more dangerous than your open enemy. I mean, that's what it is. They are more dangerous than your open enemy. And so many people have seen Democrats in this way because They are supposed to be our allies. They are supposed to be friends of the black community. They are supposed to be looking out for the best interest of a community that continues to support them, and then not receive the level of support from them that they should. And so, once again, I was one who was inclined to say, you know what, and of course I would never vote for Donald Trump no matter what, but I was inclined to say, black folks have dealt with Trump before, and stop trying to scare us with more Trump, more Trump, more Trump, more Trump. Stop trying to scare us with that and do better and give us an agenda, address our concerns. But once again, I said, as I said, in the middle of this coronavirus pandemic, I realized that Trump is far more dangerous than I had ever expected. As racist and callous as he is, and as racist and callous as many presidents have been, I couldn't see those others callously dealing with this pandemic in the way he has, being so inhumane in his conversations about it as people die, and he boasts about his ratings and rails against the Democrats and ridicules and mocks people, on social media while people are grieving the death of their loved ones. He's a special kind of evil. He's a special kind of evil. And he needs to be out of office. He needs to be out of office. That's where I am on him. As painful, once again, as it might be, to think about the prospects of a Joe Biden presidency. I don't know if we'll survive 4 years of Trump. I don't know what this nation will turn into in terms of its democracy. It's already turned into a dictatorship because basically you have a Senate that won't remove him when he's impeached. He's changed the face of the courts. So even if you take him to court, the judges will rule in his favor. So basically Trump is at a point of, I can do whatever the hell I want to do. Y'all can't impeach me, and y'all can't do nothing about it in court. So we basically have a mini Hitler. We basically have a dictator in office. And so the whole, I was leery about American democracy in the first place, in that it is not a true democracy, but we're turning more and more into, into a dictatorship. And what kills me is all of the people the conservatives who talk about socialism being so evil. Well, what do you think fascism is? What do you think this dictatorship is with this guy? You're willing to accept and be part of a fascist dictatorship than socialism, which you live with all the time. Every time you get your Social Security check, every time you get your Medicare and Medicaid benefits, every time you get your military benefit, all of that is socialism. Y'all been benefiting from socialism for decades. Now when they talk about Medicare for all and other things like that, oh no, we can't turn into Venezuela. We can't turn into a socialist nation. And in part, many of the programs of the federal government are socialist programs that these conservatives benefit from, and many of them would go bankrupt and go under if they didn't have. I mean, that's real. Once again, let me give the number here. I know y'all are used to the other number, 413-337-1867. 413-337-1867. I'll be off the air on WTCC in about 3 minutes. We'll continue for a little while after that to our online audience. But those who want to chime in, once again, 413-337-1867. Will you go for Crime Bill Joe? That's the question. And how are you doing in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic? One of the things that came out this past week is that black people are dying at unprecedented rates in terms of the percentage of people succumbing to COVID-19. They are not more susceptible to the virus, but they are more likely to die from the virus. And the numbers were staggering. In Chicago, 81% of those who have died from COVID-19 have been black, even though they're only 29% of the population. And in other major metropolitan areas across the nation, black folk have disparately been dying of COVID-19. We've got to do a better job of taking care of ourselves. I'm going to sign off for our listening audience over WTCC. Once again, every Monday morning at 9 o'clock a.m., you can catch me here on WTCC. You can catch us remotely now that we have that technology and that ability. And if you want to keep listening, go on and log on to social media. Check me out on my Facebook page. Check me out on Twitter and Periscope. Check me out on YouTube. And I'm even streaming now on Instagram. So all of your social media pages you can catch me on when we're off the air, over our 4,000 watts to our listening audience over the radio. Switch on over to social media and catch us for a little while longer on those particular venues. Once again, 413-337-1867 is the number here. As we sign off on the other side, we'll continue for a little while on the social media side, and definitely want to hear what you have to say, and I'm going to pay attention now to what you're saying in the comment section about these particular matters. Y'all don't touch the dial on TCC. Stay right there. They're coming up next with mid-morning jazz and great black music, and we'll see you soon. God bless. They play some music over here as we transition to social media only. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. All right, thanks. All right, we're going to transition and keep talking for a little bit here on social media. You can still call in, or you can put your comments out there. Want to hear what you have to say. I see y'all on the gram. I see y'all on Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Periscope. What is happening? Let me see who's over here on the scope.
Black chucks, everything. Black hug, black love, everything. Praise like Jesus. Yeah. Play like Moses. Give them flowers while it's a kid like everything. Black tribe, black bride, everything. Everything. Black pride, black lives, everything. Skin noir, friends noir, here you are, black. Everything you need, better believe you are that. Skin noir, friends noir, here you are, black. Everything you need, better believe you are that, yeah. Mira negrito, puro amor pa' mis morenitos.
All right. Blessings, prophetess. Good to see you.
I ain't on this mission alone. Used to keep it really stacking my funds. Now my windows just as black as my gun. I feel divine. It came on time.
413-337-1867. Let me see who's over on the other side.
Black chucks, everything. Everything. Black hood, black love, everything. Praise like Jesus. Play like Moses. Give them flowers while it's a kid like roses. Everything. Black tribe, black bride, everything.
Let me see what's happening over on my Facebook side. Somebody said yes, voting for Joe Biden. All right. 413-337-1867. Corona check-in. Come on, y'all. Tell me how you doing. Let me know how you're making it. How's your family? How your mom and them? All that kind of stuff. Jason Sinfer, who says I'm a fraud and thought I was a parody account. What else did this clown say? A quick Google search will show that fact. Your hate on Facebook and Twitter is funny to watch. Quick Google search will show exactly who I am. A black preacher, well-standing in my community and beyond and across the country. And you're a troll, Jason. That's what you are. You're a typical obtuse, racist, Trump-supporting troll. You're like the little chumps who call my church and make threats over a voicemail system. And then when you get put on blast, then you come back crying like a baby. Just like the guy this week who called and made all kinds of crazy threats and stuff. And then when I put him on blast, he called, "Oh, you put my wife in danger. Take that off your social media or I'm going to sue you." Yeah. That's that guy, Justin. Oh, who's commenting on my stuff right now. Matter of fact, let me play that for y'all. Yeah. Let me play it for y'all so y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me play it. Because, I just think it's important. I think it's important for y'all to know the kind of riffraff that jumps on. Let me play some music, and then I'm going to get some music on here. Let me get Swan on here. I got to fix something on my Facebook side. And then I'm going to play that stuff just so y'all see exactly what a brother goes through with the foolishness.
One is for all the brothers that passed, but more particularly one because it affected me drastically. I remember my sister gave me the call and I was in awe. Matter of fact, it felt the farthest from reality. She sees somebody post RIP with his name and I said I doubt it's the same friend I had since the 7th grade. She said I'ma call his sister and double check and called me back. Said he hanged himself in his room and had been there for days. Initially it didn't hit me, then it clicked. I remember that I hadn't seen or heard from the homie all week. Wish she had told me what had him feeling lonely and weak. I guess everybody got demons we don't even speak of. Cause I was with him exactly a week before the call. Just under 20, he couldn't even purchase alcohol. My best friend for like 6 or 7 years. I'm not ashamed to say I shedded plenty tears, but it was hard. He was somebody I had plenty memories with. The first person I ever burned any trees with. The worst feeling is knowing that you would leave us in all this grievance without a reason. One of the first people to ever believe in me. When it came down to it, you knew you could call me if you needed me. Cause that information I wouldn't have ever imagined. It's sad thinking about it. I ain't happy that it happened, but it made me. There was plenty times when I thought that it would drive me crazy.
All right, hopefully that fixed the Facebook thing.
Now I see all the drive that it gave me. I learned more about why I am who I am on a daily. I know it may sound crazy, but I'm glad that it made me. Yeah, was born the son of a pastor. He was who I was named after. Matter of fact, I even got some of his characteristics. Both of us
all right, let me see.
For the people, I just do mine with rhythm on beat. He do his on the pulpit with scriptures. Well connected, respected in the community. Ever since I was little, I felt like there was some pressure on me. It started off with little stuff like when my folk brought us to church and then they forced us to get up and say a testimony. Getting older, had to watch how I acted in public, cause people wouldn't hesitate to put that in discussion. Chatting like, isn't that the pastor's kid? I'm like, yeah, that's me. But please don't expect me to be exactly like my daddy. Don't discredit my family for how I am. I'm not a little kid no more, I'm now a man. And I ain't pointing fingers, I'm not trying to do no blaming at all. When it comes to how I came up, I wouldn't change it at all, because it made me. There was plenty times when I thought that it would drive me crazy. But looking back on it, now I see all the drive that it gave me. I learned more about why I am.
All right, Facebook, if y'all back up and y'all can hear, type it in the comments. Let me know we got the glitch worked out. You can hear, say, Bishop, I can hear.
Looking back on it, now I see all the drive that it gave me. So glad that it gave me. Yeah, it made me. Yeah, it made me. Know it may sound crazy, but I'm glad that it made me.
All right. Here we go. So let me go back and find that. You hear me? Thank you, Bernard. Thank you. Let me go back and find that clown, because these guys, man, I'm telling you, it's absolutely amazing how crazy these people are. And so this guy, I'm going to play it because we're on social media, so I can play it on social media. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Bernard. Thank you, Cousin Vita. Keyshawn, what's happening? I got an echo. Let me see. Tell me if the echo is worked out. If the echo is worked out, tell me the echo is worked out. Y'all said it's echoing. Let me make sure it's not echoing anymore. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you, Bernard. Thank you, Cousin Vita. Perfect. Okay. Good. There we go. So, listen, I need to play this because y'all need to hear this. It's insane. So the guy who was on the stream there talking about, oh, you're a phony, you're a fake, you're a this, you're a that. You know, it's one thing to have political differences and find yourself on opposite sides of the fence politically. I get that. That's the game of politics. That's how that thing works. But when your politics gets to a point where you feel like you have to threaten people with physical violence, or you feel like it drives you to a point where you're searching out their telephone numbers, calling them up, making racist phone calls, making threats and all that, you're a cult member. You are a sick, demented degenerate. You're a wicked person. There's no one who I disagree with politically. Even all of these Trump supporters, even the most ardent white supremacists. I'm not looking up your phone numbers. I'm not trying to call your job and your church and your home. I'm not making threats to kill you or hang your family. But this is the kind of stuff that so-called Trump supporting Christians do all the time. And the things you all see me put out on social media is the tip of the iceberg. I promise you, it's not even a smidgen of the communications I get. I get emails, I get telephone calls, I get hit up on my social media. They go to my church website and leave comments there all over the place. Every day of every single week, I get racist vitriol and threats from these Trump lovers. Consistently, I get that. On a daily basis, I get that kind of stuff. I mean, it's crazy. This is what he inspires in people. This is what he inspires in people who feel like they have to protect him at all costs, that if anybody criticizes him, we got to kill him. I mean, it's nuts. It's nuts. And this latest guy, let me tell you who he is, because he's actually on my Facebook page right now commenting. You all will find the post on Facebook. Matter of fact, go there and find it now. There's a picture that's there right now. The guy's name is Justin Minnesall. All right, he was a staff sergeant in the U.S. Army. He was a trainer, okay, an instructor at the 6th Ranger Training Battalion. Okay, this is who our military is training. And he felt the need to go on Instagram. They threatened me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, no matter what. Instagram, and tell me he was going to come to my church and whoop my ass. That's what he threatened that he was going to do. And so, of course, I put him on blast. And now he's all over my social media, upset that I exposed him. Now here's how the game goes. They call, threaten, make racist phone calls, threaten me in my inbox. And when I feel it's egregious enough that the person needs to be exposed, I expose them. Because I believe in exposing evil. I'm not just going to let you do that kind of stuff and let it ride. You picked the wrong black man. Somebody typed that in the comments. They picked the wrong black man. If you thought you were going to run into a pushover, you know, with your tough talk and all of that kind of stuff, you got the wrong black man this time. Okay? So then when I expose them and people start calling their homes, start calling their jobs, because several people have lost their jobs. I've had police officers hit me up with racist stuff, and it's cost them their jobs. As far away as Salt Lake City, Utah. Okay? I'm a job killer. Okay, when you call me and deal that stuff, yes, we contact your job and we ask them, is this against your policy? I mean, are your employees allowed to do this? And then when they all of a sudden realize the mistake that they made because they ran into the wrong black man, then they want to play victim. They all of a sudden become the victim. I can't believe you're doing this to me. You're supposed to be a man of God. What about forgiveness and turning cheeks? No, that's that slave religion that you taught our ancestors. Okay? That is that white supremacist religion, and I believe in forgiveness for sure. There's a place for that. But even for God to forgive you, you got to ask him. See, they think this automatic forgiveness. That's the type of Christianity they taught us. Even God said that he is faithful and just to forgive those who ask. Even his requirement for forgiveness is you got to ask for it. They think they're supposed to get it automatically because I'm white. And I can lynch your mama and all that kind of stuff. And you're just supposed to forgive me if you're a Christian. So then they run this slave religion stuff. What about turning the cheek? And what about forgiveness, Reverend? See, that's that mess that you tried to inundate our ancestors with. That in order to get to heaven, they had to forgive being lynched, burnt, murdered, raped, enslaved, and all of that. And white folks didn't have to be sorry. But black folk had to forgive anyway. No, you're not going to bastardize scripture and use that foolishness on me. When you come for me and I don't sin for you, there are going to be consequences and repercussions, and I'm still going to be saved and still be a Christian and still be anointed, and you'll still go to jail. And so, now they want to play victim. They want to play victim. And so here's another guy who I mean, you got to listen to this. I'm going to just play it for you. Who jumped up. Listen, this guy called my church 7 times and left 7 different racist messages. 7. Okay, 7. And then when I put him on blast and exposed him, he had the nerve to call back and say, if you don't take that information off of your social media, I'm going to sue you pro se. Beat his chest and pretend he was the victim. Then he said, you put my wife in danger. There are people calling my house now. Now, let's get it straight. Check it out. So when you call me with racist vitriol and threaten me and say all kinds of crazy stuff to me 7 times, not caring about my wife, my children, my church members, then when you get put on blast and called out for what you did, you're the victim? You and your wife are the victim? This is the mentality of these crazy people. I mean, they are insane. Let me play this for you. It's sensitive to your ears, so I'm going to let you know that now. Sensitive to your ears. If you got sensitive ears, you might not want to listen.
So, my name is Russell Hebert. My number is 203-694-1471.
I'm going to let that play. I'll be back.
I'm not in my home in Tennessee, but I'm actually at 384 Chestnut Street in St. Mary's, PA. I'm here on business. And I'm just wondering, Pastor, why you called me a racist. You have no clue what my ethnicity is. And what does that have to do with me calling you a fraud? Why are you such a dividing, fraudulent piece of shit? Now, anytime you want to call the FBI and have them call me or come and see me, I've got nothing to hide. I haven't done anything wrong. This is called exercising my First Amendment. You're a fraud. I think you're a scumbag. And everything on your posts on Twitter does nothing but divide. And I notice everywhere you turn to the racist card. It's people like you that are the fucking problem, okay? And people like me that are solution. People like me that want to try to talk to people. But you're not really a people. You're a fucking leech. You're a fraud, and you're a scumbag. And the best part, you are the epitome of a racist. Idiot, dude. You're a fraud, a phony, and a tool of Satan. Is that thug speak from your days in the hood or the street or something? 'Cause I don't speak that. We speak English here in America. So anytime you want to have an intelligent discussion, go get yourself a fucking brain and give a call. Okay? All right, Skippy. You have a blessed day because you certainly need something in your life because God isn't in it, and you and I both know it. Okay, scumbag? Now go fuck yourself. Bye now. You have a nice day because I know I will. I'm a happy individual inside, but you are obviously, what do they say? Oh, yeah, a miserable cocksucker. Okay? So you have a good day. Bye, little girl.
Okay, y'all. So that's Russell Hebert. He called my church last week, once again, 7 times. 7 different times. That's a conglomeration of various messages. 7 times he called, leaving 7 racist messages. And here's the thing: this is the idiocy of white supremacy. A couple months ago, after several death threats, several anonymous death threats, and here's the thing: you heard him say, no, it's in the next one. I've got the FBI on speed dial, literally, because I've got the police commissioner's cell phone number, literally, because I deal with this kind of stuff so much. I'm consistently reporting these people to the local police and to the FBI. There are 2 guys right now who have pending criminal charges against them that the U.S. attorney has filed. I'm serious about going after these clowns. So I deal with the FBI on a consistent basis. I've been dealing with them for 25 years. I've been getting death threats for 25 years. But never at the rate and with the type of vitriol that I've been getting them in the last 3 years since Trump has been president. So trust me, as someone who has gotten death threats over 2 decades, as someone who has dealt with people literally threatening to blow my church up and all kinds of other stuff, it has never been as bad as it has been in the last 3 years with this guy in office. Facts. So after I put this out, exposing this Russell Hebert guy, see, I love my followers. My followers are intelligent. And they don't play. All right? When you come for me, they come for you. And what happened was they were resourceful enough to look this guy up. Not just the fact that the dummy left his phone number. They're resourceful enough to figure out where you work and a number of other things, and they contact your jobs. I don't even have to do that. They do that because they are just as disgusted by trash like him as I am. And so all of a sudden, when I put that out, apparently he received a number of calls from people who had a problem with what he did to me. And then he calls back upset because you put my wife in danger. Well, I'm sure none of my followers threatened him or his wife. But he's all scared and shook now. And then he's threatening, if I don't take that down, he's going to sue me. He's going to sue me. I mean, here's the arrogance. It's not that he called and said, you know what, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Can we talk about this? No, he's going to bully me into taking it down. And you need to call me so we can de-escalate. De-escalate what, fool? You called me 7 times, leaving messages on my voicemail. I don't need to de-escalate nothing. You're the idiot who escalated this thing. I mean, and threatening me that if I don't, this is what you gonna do. You gonna take me to court. Please, I got 7 racist messages from you that we will pull out in discovery. I mean, this is the caucasity of white supremacists. I'm going to harass you. I'm going to threaten you. I'm going to castigate you and malign you. And if you respond, I'm going to take you to court. I mean, what the hell kind of sickness is this that these guys have? So let me play this. Let me play this. Here it is.
You know, just so you know, I've called Springfield PD and I've spoken to FBI. You've posted my personal information on your Twitter account. Not a good thing, dude, and they aren't really happy about it, number one. Number two, I never gave you permission to record. I'm leaving a message for you. You need to pull my personal information off of your website or I will bring you to court. I will sue you. Do you understand me? It's not a threat, dude. I'm telling you I will take civil action against you for posting my personal information. And I'll tell you what, dude, now you've put my wife in danger. Me, I'm okay with. But, dude, nobody puts my wife in danger. Do you understand me? Springfield PD is now aware. FBI is now aware. And if you don't pull that off, my personal information off of your account and your website, I will sue you. Pro se. Got me? There's a reason why I know what pro se is. Maybe you might want to go find out. Won't cost me a nickel, but it'll cost you to go to court a lot of money. I will sue you for what you've done and put my wife in danger. You are not a pastor, and this proves my point. No pastor on the planet would ever do something like that, and certainly no pastor, no real pastor, would ever have the FBI on his speed dial. Can't believe you are such a fraud, dude. You need to pull my information off of your Twitter account and off your website, because I'm telling you, I will bring a civil suit. Are we clear? Thank you. And if you'd like to discuss this, I haven't sworn once.
Are we
haven't
clear?
said a racist thing to you, not even once. You want to call me and talk to me like a man, my phone is on. Don't use a private number, because of the people you've got calling my number. I've had to block private numbers. Call me and we can de-escalate this, or I will pursue this. You have put my wife in danger, dude, and I will not accept that. And I hope we're clear. And I hope you're the man that you aspire to be, and call me and we can de-escalate this.
The caucasity. Are we clear? Are we clear? Call me if you want to be the man that you aspire to be. Call me. Are we clear? You put my wife in danger. I'm not having that. Can y'all believe that? This dude called me and cussed me out and called me everything but a child of God. I don't know him from a can of paint. Left 7 racist messages on my voicemail. And when I put him on blast, I better call him. Nigga, please. I better call him. And are we clear? Like he's my doggone daddy. I will sue you. I will pursue. Dude, you called me, harassing me, illegally harassing me. Then you gonna threaten to sue me for exposing you? This is the arrogance of white supremacy, y'all.
This is how crazy these people are. This is what Trump inspires.